going on, YouTube? How you guys doing today? I keep getting asked in a lot of old videos how to make a grip build for C2 and C3 for specific cars. So I figured I would just hop on today, look for a car that I planned on building anyways, and just show you guys how to generally make a drift or a grip build for every car in the game. This video is going to apply to every vehicle, so that way I don't have to go and like keep making videos for specific cars. You guys can just apply this to each car, and then I'll tell you what you guys need to balance on the vehicle to cater to the specific car you got. But I was planning on doing this LFA anyway, so I figured why not grab it. It's C3, and I'll show you what you guys gotta do. I just want to do some donuts first. Car sounds pretty good too. It's actually pretty quick. Really, really grippy, so I'm hoping this thing's gonna make a good build. Alright, now first thing you guys want to do, not necessarily first thing, but the first thing I would do when going for a grip build, I max everything out anyways, but the first thing I'm going to do is go for ultimate wheel spacers. Then I'm going to put 345s, whatever's the widest tire you can fit on your car. And I had a lot of comments a while ago about putting the wider tires on your vehicle will slow it down if you don't have the horsepower to turn the extra weight. And when I was looking at the weight of the vehicle, when you add the bigger and wider tires, it does not add any extra weight of the vehicle. The only thing it does is brings up the grip level. And I tested on a slow car that was a C2, I think it was, and I put really wide tires on it, I put really skinny tires on it, then I put really tall rims on it with skinny tires, then really tall rims with wide tires, and every single time the vehicle with wide tires on it did better. And then I ran a timer from 0 to 100. Each time it did better with the wide tires, and I figured, well, maybe that's just helping because it's getting a lot more grip off the line. So I tested from 50 to 150, and each time the wide tires still won the race. So that weight does not affect the vehicle. So you know, even if you got a C1, throw the widest tires on you can. It's not going to affect your rating. Then I like to balance the size of the tire with the look of the wheel well. I think that looks like it fills pretty good, and I think the rear tire's already looking pretty good. We'll just have to shrink it in after we do a body kit. Go ahead and throw those on there. Now let's go on to suspension. Now if you're on a wheel, you want to make sure that you don't put too much angle on it. Otherwise, when you're doing tuning, if you're on a wheel making a grip build, no, if you're making a drift build, you want max angle no matter what. But you'll have scenarios where you're gonna come across spots in the campaign, and you gotta go through like really tight togy areas. And you're going to come across areas where you're going to go and it's going to understeer or oversteer, and you're going to have issues where you're going through tight areas and the car's literally just going to drive straight instead of turning, and then you're going to have to yank the wheel back and forth to get the car moving again, and it just sucks. So I'll show you right about where I tune for my grip builds on the angle. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do everything on this car because I don't plan on ever getting rid of this car. Damn, I only got 22 grand. It sucks. What do we have anything in inventory? No, we don't. But we'll leave the rear dampers for now, because I was hoping to do a body kit, but I guess we won't be able to. Let's see. Weight reduction. Let's go ahead and do that. That's free street coins. And then, well, actually, I don't know. Yeah, we're not gonna do the weight reduction because you guys wanted specific C3, so we'll stick to that. Right? Or still stay C3. Drivetrain. I would upgrade every single thing that you can. Let's see what we have in inventory. All-wheel drive. If you can, I would go to all-wheel drive. The 250 is our limit. Let's go 1700 on that. Oh, we could get a maybe have an exhaust note change here. Now let's go into tuning. Engine, can't touch anything because we didn't upgrade it. We're in C3. Same thing with the transmission. Body, when you're doing a grip build, I would do everything for body if you're getting up into like C6 and C5, because you can go and if you're just having fun with the car. Now if you're doing the campaign, I wouldn't do a single body upgrade. Go for horsepower and suspension, because I experimented with my Skyline at C5 and C4, and I tried doing weight reduction and less horsepower, and every single time I would go to try to get towards the end of the campaign, it's mostly all highway races in the game. So you want to change out for horsepower, because every single time I would get out on the highway, I would be doing like 180, and these guys would just be flying by me, and I couldn't figure out why they were beating me so badly. I'm like, I literally have a maxed out car for this class. And then I went and ripped all of the weight reduction on, ended up putting like 300 more horse onto the car. Went and beat the race no issue, because I was doing like 230 down the highway. So that was a huge help. And when it comes to tuning for grip, if you're on a wheel, this is huge. If you're on a controller, it's not as big of a deal. But you want to tune your ride height so that way the bottom of the car isn't bottoming out at top speed areas. Like when you're on the wheel, it's completely different feeling than what you are on a controller. There's no assist at all like when you are on a controller. I play both, and I beat the game on a controller, and I play on a wheel for fun. And when you're going down the highway, go as fast as you can, do like 160, and feel if the car suspension, when it's bobbing up and down, going through dips and stuff like that on the highway, if you can feel it bottoming out and your wheel getting a hard like jolt and vibration, shaking back and forth, raise your ride height a little bit. I think this actually looks a little bit too low to me. The rear looks pretty good, but the front looked almost like it was just dragging. I'm gonna go ahead and just try out stiffness as it is and see how it is. When it comes to steering angle, I don't like to max my steering angle out of my grip builds. Controller, it really doesn't matter, but on the wheel, if you have too much angle, it's gonna make it hard. I like to be about right there at the max. It's gonna make it hard to go through togy areas. Braking force I always just max out on the game anyways. Spring length looked good. We'll see how stiffness is out there. Camber, I like to have just a little bit of camber. Go ahead and apply these settings. I need to adjust. I'm not going to do a body kit on it. I wanted to, but I didn't realize how low we were on funds. Pressure, I'm going to leave that for the time being. That looks pretty good right there. That looks like it's hitting the wheel well. There we go, that's smooth. Go ahead and apply that. The camber actually looks pretty good on the front. I don't think we're gonna touch that. Yeah, that looks about perfect as it is. In the rear camber for grip builds, I don't like to have a ton of camber on the rear. I like my builds to be fairly flat. Go ahead and bring this in one more notch. Yeah, that looks good. You don't want to have it dragging the fenders at all in this game, because if it does, then you're gonna have the wheel jolting really hard. If you're on a controller, it really don't matter, you don't notice it, but on the wheel it sucks. And then, number one thing in this game, Racing Plus tires. And make sure you take your traction control. Look at that grip. I think I need to bring, yeah, I gotta bring feedback up just a hair. This is not heavy enough. Let's see. I usually drift around 55. I think this car, being a grip build, see how this thing feels? I think it needs a little bit of stiffening. Yeah, the front feels a little bit too soft. Let's go tune that out. Go ahead and bring the sway bars up just a hair. No toe on the front. If you have issues with spinning out, bring your Ackerman down and your caster up a notch. That should make it feel pretty good. And just a hair of negative toe. I wish I didn't even have to go that much, but we'll see how that feels. And before anybody says anything about the toe, look into how people run their setups on NASCAR and out on the circuits. Excuse me. On smaller tracks, they like a little bit of toe, so that way when they go to slow down and get on the brakes, it causes a dragging force to pull out on the front of the car, and it helps them as they're coming into corners to slow down and get better handling. Yeah, that feels nice and stiff now. I would say it could even go a little bit stiffer maybe on the rear, but that's pretty good. Yeah, that feels pretty good now. Braking's good. Handling's nice and stiff. Doesn't feel like it wants to slide out through. I like to test in the city up here because there's a lot of bumpy areas. And one thing I like to do is these little tight areas, because you're slamming on the brakes, and these, how there's little hills and stuff like that, I love testing it in the city. I hope that CarX brings some weather pretty soon and we can get some pouring rain with Unreal Engine. Now right there, I think we might do a little bit of sway bar adjustment and the car would be good. Brought the rear sway bar back down to default. Then, since we spun out, I'm going to go ahead and drop the Ackerman angle down a little bit more, and that'll help you with spinning out. And actually, if you guys didn't know, if you're on a controller, you can crank your caster all the way up and your Ackerman all the way down. It'll basically make your drift build so you can't even spin out. It's almost like a cheat. Go ahead and put this traction control on. Yeah, that's grippy. Oh yeah. Running wide open and turning and it's not spinning out. That's what you want right there. Missing a gear. Yeah, that feels good. I think I could run through the campaign in this car decently. But that's about it for today's video. I hope you guys have a great day. Also, let me know how you guys are enjoying the game on console. I have no idea how it plays on Xbox. I'm on PC. Is there lag on it? Do you get a lot of glitches? Is there like a whole bunch of like funky stuff happening in the campaign? Let me know what you guys are seeing. Let me know down in the comments. You guys have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Oh, before it ends, I figured I'd go through and show you guys the final build, so that way you can just look right at that spot, pause, copy and paste, and go from there on your own builds. You guys have a good one.